Jesus rolled up those cloths and put it nicely in a separate place. That is an example for our children to follow, that even Jesus knows how to do chores too. But today, let's put our focus on a particular thought. Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, Margot Robbie, Emily Blunt, Zoe Saldana, Taylor Swift, Gal Gadot, aka Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa, Michael B. Jordan, Babyface, Chris Evans, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Johnny Depp, Denzel Washington. Now, there is something common about these people that I have just named. Yes, you've guessed it. They are all made in the image and likeness of God. And it's also very hard to forget that possibly the majority of people in this audience and maybe all around the world would probably know and deem these following people, or the people that I've just named, as extremely handsome and extremely beautiful. Now, sometimes they are people that we aspire to look like. Sometimes they may make it into our dreams. Sometimes we just flaunt over their looks and just think, what if this world were another world? Ooh. Sometimes we obsess over these figures and think that they could do no wrong. We might even make them gods. Lust can be lurking around the corner. It is one of the 7 deadly sins, where an over-concern of an idol and neglect and of everyone else creeps in. In lust, there seems to be an interest that leaves us powerless and may even delve into neglecting ourselves. Friends, lust is a tool of the evil one, but guess what? Have no fear. The Lord has come to save you. Friends, lust affords us the idea of sinning because we have deemed life as a way to obtain what we desire, no matter what it takes. And if we can't get it, we settle for the next best thing. And oftentimes, the next best thing isn't really good for us. Lust helps us forget that we are worth way more than what we cannot have, be it people or things, because what we cannot have does not define us. What does define us is nothing more than the living God who has come into the world, charged the waters with life-giving spiritual freedom, and set us an example of how to live well. Lust rids us of hope and makes us turn inward and leaves us thinking, woe is me. So yes, friends, woe is you. Woe is me. Woe to all born as a descendant of Adam and Eve until Christ, the Messiah, shows us, or better yet, reminds us of our destiny. St. Melito has the following to say regarding Christ. For the sake of suffering humanity, he came down from heaven to earth, clothed himself in that humanity in the Virgin's womb, and was born a man. Having then a body capable of suffering, he took the pain of the fallen man upon himself. He triumphed over the diseases of soul and body that were its cause, and by his spirit, which was incapable of dying, he dealt man's destroyer, death, a fatal blow. Simply put, friends, in lust we are stuck. In charity, we are not only set free, but we also empower. We also motivate and share and remind. We remind others of a love that exists forever. Friends, this is not a love that originates from man, but a love that endures forever. This is a love that comes from God. Now, those Catholics, I've heard many times, those Catholics like to put a dead guy on a cross and worship it. But friends, what we preach is an absurdity to those who are wise, because our own human wisdom cannot fathom that God has transformed our lowly bodies to participate in his divinity. Yes, friends, we become like God in a sense because we live forever. There's a joy that awaits us, and the cross is our triumph and not our death sentence. But I must mention the line in the gospel that I'm quite fond of hearing every Easter Sunday of how John is a track star and Peter's a little sluggish. Peter must have had a few too many fish that morning. Friends, we can't take too much from that, other than the fact that Peter was usually depicted as one who is sometimes doubtful or maybe even rash in behavior. John rested at the bosom, at the side of Jesus, and also Mary of Magdala followed closely as well. Now, we may all be in various stages in growing relationship with God, and this may affect our belief, but that's okay, because you can find your growth in the quickness and how quick we all run to Jesus, no matter the task, no matter the situation. After all, we are all servants of a God that lives and not of a God that is dead. The apostles forgot this for a brief moment, and then they soon rediscovered the way. Friends, the life we live is complex. We have lives that are filled with tons of things to do. We have great responsibilities. Life gets tough. We break down. And it seems at times that we all just need a break, including Father Houston. This is true. However, the break we need is not in people nor in things. The break only exists in the love of God. And if we seek it always, especially when we come here every single Sunday where we call home, when we seek it always, we remember that we are instruments of love and not instruments of destruction. Simply put, brothers and sisters, we do not settle for less. We are worth more than our vices. We are worth more than the unnecessary titles. We are more than heirs of a prosperity that the world knows, a prosperity that worships you when you are up and talks about you when you are down. What you really desire, friends, is not in this world, but rather in the new world to come. And so, friends, do not get anxious. Do not be afraid. Do not get worried. Jesus has already won. However, we have a job. We have a mission to respond to the love of God. We embody the same Jesus that we have come to know and make sure that everyone else has the opportunity to discover him. If there is, in fact, no greater love than to lay down your life for a friend, a reality that Jesus Christ himself exemplified, now is the time we recall that we are his disciples. We too must lay down our lives for others, even a stranger. Now, it may not be by being crucified on a cross. It may be by not responding back with animosity to someone who offends us. It may be lending a helping hand to someone that you do not like. It may be offering your ear to someone who just needs to vent. It may be getting someone a gift just 'cause. It may be lending Father Houston your Ferrari for the weekend. I know how to downshift too. Wherever it may be, friends, just know that you have the power to show forth the goodness of Christ with your actions, with your words, and with your hearts. Jesus calls upon us to be charitable. It is the antidote of lust and selfishness. Jesus has already empowered you, so what's stopping you? What is stopping us? Yeah, you're right. Absolutely nothing. Today and for the rest of our lives, we proclaim with our voices aloud a song of thanksgiving, the song of praise, the song of our salvation, and say, Alleluia, Alleluia. For the Lord has risen, and we have too. From today onwards, we live as those who believe and not as those who the devil has deceived. There is a future of gladness in store for us tomorrow. Therefore, we live like it today. Alleluia.